Welcome to another edition of Buccaneers Insider. I'm your host, Danny Rabinowitz, and today we'll be joined by women's tennis coach Avi Kigel. Jim McCurdy will talk to a couple diamond gems from the softball team, but first I'm joined by men's golfer Adam Svensson. Adam, thanks so much for stopping by today.
Yeah, thank you.
Now tell me about this season. It's been kind of a whirlwind. How's it gone for you?
Yeah, it's been a great season for me. I won 7 times, won the SSC championship, and our team's been doing really well.
Let me ask you about that 7 wins. That's a school record. How does that feel for you?
It feels pretty special to receive that award, and just to know that I can win that many times in Division II. It's pretty awesome. Also,
how important is it to you? You have these individual accomplishments, but also to lead your team and to lead by example. How important is that?
Yeah, it's very important to show the team leadership and kind of direct them on the right path and show them how to win and how to practice and all that stuff. So.
Now we want to present you with something here today. You had a historical day at Normandy Shores, so we want to present you with this here today, your scorecard.
Sweet.
From that day. Cool. Now let's talk about the day you had the 61 at Normandy Shores. It's a course record. What was that day like for you?
I mean, it was crazy. I was 6 under after 15 holes, and then I eagled the 16 and 18. And yeah, I mean, I was kind of in shock. I didn't really realize it till a couple days later what I actually shot, and it was pretty special.
How do you stay calm and collected when you're heading up to 17th, 18th? How do you stay calm during that?
I have a sports psychologist, and we kind of practice on thinking about other things while I'm playing. Like I'll maybe think of like the ocean or something really calm, or the beach or something, and then focus myself right when I get into the shot, so I'm not nervous or whatever when I'm walking down the fairway.
Now you look back at it. I mean, really, how great of an accomplishment was that in the grand grand scope of your career here?
I mean, it was the best round of my life. So it was one of the best highlights I've ever had.
Now let me ask you this: you said that was the most memorable day of your career. Is there a tournament that stands out to you, your career here at Barry, something that really stands out, your best memory, other than your 61?
The best for me would be winning the NCAA championship last year. I mean, that's just you can't beat that. I mean, even if I won individuals, you just can't beat the team atmosphere and the team play.
Now, to talk about team play, you won another individual award recently at the Barry University Awards Banquet. You won Athlete of the Year. How great did that feel?
I mean, can't beat that feeling. I mean, winning Athlete of the Year is pretty special to me, and just accomplishing that before I head on to greater and better things. And yeah.
Now, you and your team, you're ranked #1 heading into your Super Regional. Now, what does the rest of the season have in store for you guys?
We play regionals coming up, and then nationals. Nationals is a grind. It's 8 days in a row. You play golf, so it'll be interesting.
All right, now let me ask you about you personally. You told me you're from Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, golf instead of hockey, where did that start?
Well, my dad, he was really big into hockey, and since I was 3, I was playing golf, and yeah, I just chose golf over hockey, and it's been working out pretty well.
Is there a golfer that you love to watch, someone that you look up to, maybe try to model your game after a little bit?
Adam Scott, I would say. Not just because it's my name, but just because I like his personality and the way he carries himself around the golf course is pretty cool to see.
And you've played in a PGA Tour event already. Which event was that, and what was that experience like?
It was the Canadian Open in Toronto. It was pretty cool to see like the pros, how they practice and how they play, and I realized that I'm not that far off. We got a couple things to work on, and I think I'll be there one day. So. And
you also have the U.S. Amateur Championships coming up in August. Tell us a little bit about that, and it's got to be pretty exciting for you.
It is. Yeah, I'm ranked top 50 in the world right now for golf ranking, and yeah, you get into the USAM for that. It's a pretty prestigious event. If you win that, you get to play in the Masters. So that's one of my goals I'm working towards this year.
Now I asked your coach, which would be the top tournament you'd ever picture yourself playing, and you both said the Masters. Why is that?
Just how prestigious it is, and I mean, playing in the Masters is so cool. The golf course, the fans, and the white suit the caddy wears, and the amateurs get to stay in the clubhouse, which is another cool thing about it. So.
Now, one final thing, golf is probably one of the most, if not the most frustrating sport there is. Now, you told me you go out and you play every day, you practice every day. Tell me about that.
Yeah, sometimes, I don't want to go out there, but in the back of my mind, I have to because all these kids are doing it the same, and they're practicing hours and maybe more hours than I am, and some of them are not even going to school. So I gotta keep on track and stay focused and know this is what I want to do for a living. So,
Adam, thanks so much for stopping by. Congratulations on all your awards this season, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now let's take an inside look at what's going on with the Buccaneers softball team. Jim?
Thank you, Danny. And now I'm joined by two of the softball players from Barry University's team, Megan Copeland and Julie Brito. Ladies, thanks for stopping by today on Buccaneers Insider.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you both finished strong in the last regular season game. Both of you had hits and scored runs in a run rule over St. Leo here on this field. Talk about what that feeling was like to go out on top in such a big way.
It was a really good feeling to finally come out on top in a run rule. It was one of our few run rules that we had this year, and to do it at home in front of our fans for our final game of the season was just really exciting.
Julie, how about you? What was that like to go out on top in such a big way?
Yeah, it was just really exciting, and it just laid a cool foundation for next year to come out strong.
Run us through what this season was like from start to finish. What kind of highs and lows you went through?
This season was definitely, I would call, a roller coaster. We had a bunch of highs, a bunch of lows. We started the season off really well, really strong, really eager to play. And once we started conference, we struggled a little bit. Being such a young team, it was really hard to come together and to just know what conference play was like for maybe some people that hadn't experienced it before.
Julie, how about your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. It was kind of like a roller coaster. We had some really high points, and then we had some pretty low points, but towards the end I think we picked it back up and kind of found ourselves.
Julie, what kind of things did you learn going through a season like this that you can help to look forward to the future or build off of this year?
I learned that like even though things were kind of hard, that you just have to stick to your process and stay focused, and eventually like through hard work you'll find your way out of it.
Megan, the two of you were among the top 3 hitters on the team this year. What's the sense of leadership like, knowing that your team counts on you day in and day out, and how do you approach that?
I always feel really honored that my team counts on me in situations that they know that I'm going to get the job done, and I just feel that that adds a sense of confidence to myself, that my team's behind me and that they know that I'm going to get the job done no matter what way it is, and they really do believe in me, and that gives you all the confidence in the world to just come out and do your very best for your team.
Julie, how about you? What comes with the territory of being one of the leaders of this team?
Kind of like what Megan said, just the fact that my team trusts me to get the job done, like especially through hitting or like making things happen. Like it just feels like really good, like knowing that when I'm in the batter's box, like my team is behind me 100%.
Now next year you'll be a senior, Julie, so how will you use that leadership to spring forward into your final collegiate season?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna come out and play even harder because it's my last year, and I'll just like show leadership through example, and yeah.
Megan, last year you were more of a slap hitter or a small ball hitter, but you've increased your power numbers. Tell us about the approach and the transition from last year till this year.
Well, at the end of last year, I really wanted to come out for this season and do something completely different. Last year, every team expected me just to bunt or slap and try and beat it out, and I just wanted to put them on their heels and fool them a little bit with being able to hit the ball to the outfield and over their heads. So over the summer, I worked really hard. Coach Meg helped me a lot, being wherever she was in the country, being able to help me out. So I basically was on my own teaching myself how to hit. So it's been a really tough road this year, and just going up to bat knowing that I may not get on base every time if I'm going to hit. But by the end of the season and seeing this past weekend, I really saw the outcome and the reward of hard work and being able to hit the ball and drive it and score runs for my team.
Now you mentioned having Megan as one of your assistant coaches. Of course, she plays on a high level for the Canadian Olympic team or the Canadian national team. tell us what the luxury of having a coach with so much experience and still active in the game, how that helps you guys as a team.
Well, for me, it helps so much because she really does understand what we're going through, and maybe that people that aren't playing right now don't understand. Like, she can really relate to us, and I really feel that that's beneficial to all of us.
Julie, how about you? What's it like to have a mentor like Megan, as an assistant coach?
It's really awesome. She's probably one of the best hitters I've seen in real life, and that's awesome to have because she has so much experience, and when I'm like in a slump or something's going wrong, she knows exactly what's happening and she helps me fix it really fast, and she just knows what she's talking about, and I trust her 100%.
Of course, you have a really good head coach as well who has a lot of experience herself. Talk about her role and her influence on this team and why she expects so much from you girls.
Coach Penner's a great coach, and yeah, she has. I feel like she has a lot of confidence in us, and that helps a lot, and that helped towards the end of our season. And yeah, I just know she'll never give up on us. And
Julie, let me ask you, for 2 straight years you've hit 341, exactly the same numbers and almost identical in terms of RBIs as well. I think you were 2 apart in RBIs these last 2 years. What's your secret to all the consistency?
I don't know. When I saw that I finished with the 341, I kind of laughed because it was the same as last year. Like, what are the odds of that happening? But last year I feel like I came out very strong, and then I kind of went down, like a downward slope kind of. But this year I was more proud of like my 341 batting average because I felt like I was more consistent throughout the year. So, yeah.
The expectations for Barry University softball is always sky high, both in the conference and at the national level. So what kind of motivational impact does this season and how everything turned out have going forward into next year in your last collegiate season?
At this point, we're not really sure if we're going to make the regionals and all of that, but yeah, it kind of like hurts some of us, and we're just really motivated for next year to come out strong and maintain our reputation as one of like the top teams. At the beginning, we were ranked in the country, and next year we all feel like we really want to be back at that spot again. So I think, yeah, this season was a great learning experience, and next year we're going to come out a lot stronger, I feel.
Now, don't get wet behind the ears just because the sprinklers are going off here on your home field, but any parting shots here on to sum up this season? Megan, anything that you want to add about this season in general?
I think that although we may have had a rough season, I think it's a good foundation for us next year. I think maybe other teams in our conference and throughout the region are going to underestimate us, and I think that with a year experience, we have all of our position players returning, so it's a great foundation for next year, and we have a bunch of good girls coming in, and I'm really excited for what the future has for us next year.
Well, Julie, Megan, thank you for joining us here today on Buccaneers Insider. Congratulations on all your success, and good luck as you move forward into the future with Barry U softball. And now back to you in the studio, Danny, for an interview with women's tennis coach Avi Kigel.
Thanks, Jim. And now I'm joined by women's tennis coach Avi Kigel. Coach, welcome to the set of Buccaneers Insider. Thank you so much for taking the time. All right, now, Coach, let me ask you about your success in the fall, the small college championships, Emma O'Neill and Linda Fritchkin. Let me ask you about their success in that one.
That was a great tournament for them. That was the first time that we paired them together. We really didn't know what to expect, and they played great. Won the regional, won the nationals, and were able to go and compete in the Division I tournament. So just great success, really showed us that they can really play well together and give us great preparation for the spring.
How does that work for you as a coach when you're trying to pair a couple of players together? Is it just a trial and error type of situation?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes we just feel who can mesh good together with personalities, with the way they play, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes injuries come into play. So there are a lot of aspects. We're just lucky that we tried that team, and they've been doing great since then.
Now, on the singles side, let me ask you about the emergence of Karina Goya in the fall season as well. How important was that for your team?
Very important. Karina had a very good freshman year, and she came back and won one tournament in the fall, beat a couple of very good Division I players, and just played very, very solid throughout the whole fall, and actually continue with that level now into the spring.
Well, let me ask you about that, the momentum from the fall, moving into the spring. What's been the thing that's impressed you the most about your team?
They're really hard workers. You know, a lot of them are really young. We have, I think, 4 sophomores, 1 junior, and 1 freshman in the top 6. So it's still a very young team. But they had the experience of last year and kind of really now understand what it takes to go all the way. And it shows, you know, in the fall and now in the spring, just working hard day to day to hopefully to get to our goals.
Now, for you as a coach, you went 2 seasons unbeaten here at Barry University. How tough is that to get your team ready for every single match and to be that perfect?
We don't really think about it, you know. We just want to play our best and try to win every match. If at the end of the year we are undefeated, I mean, that's great. But that's not really our main goal. Our main goal is just to get better each day and get ready for the postseason.
Now, your 1 loss this year came to a Division I, a 5-4 match, obviously very close. So what was that like for your team, losing one, and how do you feel they bounced back?
We wanted to see how they will bounce back. It was a tough loss. We had a couple of injured players that didn't play in that match. But yeah, you know, we came back, and I think we won the next, 5, 6, 7 matches right after. So it was, we dealt with it very well.
Now, Coach, you put together a bigger lineup this season, so you have more options to choose from. How much does that help you, and is that something you think you're going to do moving forward?
Definitely. I mean, you know, we saw what can happen if you don't have a big lineup last year. We only had 7, and in nationals we had 1 girl who was injured and really hurt us. So we knew that we need at least 8 or 9 good players that can at any time move into the lineup. So that was our philosophy going to this year, and it will continue for the following years.
Now, Coach, I know it's one of the goals for you. You won your regular season Sunshine State Conference Championship, and you won the tournament again this year. How nice is it to reach those goals early on in the season?
Oh, it felt really great. This year was the first time that they actually, you know, gave the championship for the regular season. So we're the first time to win it. So it was a great accomplishment. And of course, the conference tournament, that's always been our first goal of the year, you know, to win it. And it's been the 5th year in a row. And again, we're competing against very tough teams. So just a really good tournament for us.
Now, you won your conference tournament. Now you really move on to bigger and better here, the NCAA tournament coming up. Let me ask you about that moving forward. Trying to win a national championship, that has to be the ultimate goal for you, right?
Definitely. But we understand that, you know, to get to the nationals, we first have to win the regionals. So I think we're lucky that we're probably going to host. So that's our next goal. So we have about a week to really train hard and get ready, and hopefully win it.
Now, Coach, personally, I want to ask you a little bit. You just tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, you're from Israel.
Yes.
Born and raised down there. You came down here. You told me to play college tennis, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about growing up in Israel. Did you play a lot of tennis growing up?
Yes. Started playing at around age 4, and it's been my game ever since I was very young. Love the game. Always wanted to be a professional tennis player. In Israel, it's a little tough because you have to go to the army, which kind of put a stop for about 3 years. So college tennis was the only opportunity to continue play at a high level and, you know, and get a degree at the same time. So that's why I came. But really enjoyed living in Israel. Go home twice a year to see my family. It's been a good growing up there.
And Coach, you mentioned to me you made it down south to check out the Sony Open. You saw Nadal play. You told me he's your favorite player. What is it about Rafa that you love so much?
I just love his intensity. I mean, the guy never quits, and that's the type of players that I'm always looking. That's what we are preaching for our girls, and just love the way he competes.
Coach, congratulations on an incredible season, and I know a lot more work for you left to do here. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. Our thanks to men's golfer Adam Svensson, softball players Megan Copeland and Julie Brito, and women's tennis coach Avi Kigel. Be sure to keep up with all Buccaneers athletics during championship season by visiting GoBarryBucks.com. For Dennis Jezik and Jim McCurdy, I'm Danny Rabinowitz. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of Buccaneers Insider.